Good morning, student. Hope everything is going fine. Today's class we will study regarding a new topic, but already this chapter has been not completed. Already Sandesh sir has completed some topic. Today we are going to overall view. We will look whatever completed. I will just explain briefly. So we have chapter 1 science, chapter 7th class. For 7th class, chapter 1 we are studying, that is the heading is nutrition in plants. Hope you have clearly understood the definition of nutrition. Nutrition is nothing but it is a food for in the plant. Nutrition is clearly mentioning the food, whatever components of food. Already you have studied in 6th class. Food is essential for the plants or animals, all living organisms. Food is essential for their living. So you have studied what is the food that is required by the plants to grow or survive. That is one is carbohydrate, you studied in 6th class, fats, vitamins, minerals. These are the components, food components which are required by the plants to carry out its life process. But components of food also known as nutrients. Here nutrition is there. Nutrition is a process which is carried in the plant in order to make food or manufacture food. But nutrients is a component of food, is also called as nutrients. Component of food which is required for to carry out the life process of plant. As well as in animals and human beings, we carry out the same process, but likewise in plants there is a life process that is carried out by that is required by component of food which is required by the plants to carry out the life process. But already you have studied out nutrition in plants. The definition of nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and utilized by its body. That is the proper definition of nutrition. So in the nutrition, plants depend themselves for preparing food, but likewise in animals and human beings, we depend on plants indirectly or directly for food. But therefore it is categorized the modes of nutrition. What the mode of nutrition it is taking place in plants? What the mode of nutrition is carried out in human beings and animals? Already this topic has been covered. You have clearly understood what is modes of nutrition. Modes of nutrition there are two types. It is categorized into two types. That is autotrophic modes of nutrition. Another one is heterotrophic modes of nutrition. Autotrophic modes of nutrition means this auto itself. This name is suggesting that auto means self. What is auto means? Self. Auto means self. Trophic means nourishment. Auto, self-nourishment. This autotrophic mode of nutrition only takes place in plants. Where it takes place? Only in plants. Autotrophic modes of nutrition. The modes of nutrition which is carried out in organisms by taking simple substance for the food which is prepared by themselves, the plants. They don't depend on any other organisms. In special cases, there are certain plants we will discuss later in this chapter. But according to the definition, autotrophic modes of nutrition, auto means self, trophic means nourishment. So these kinds of mode of nutrition are also called as autotrophs. What is called? Autotrophs. These plants, those plants which carry out these autotrophic modes of nutrition are also called autotrophs. If you see autotrophs and heterotrophs, they are different. Heterotrophs means they depend on other organisms. The ready-made food which is prepared by other organisms. They depend on, like human beings, we depend directly or indirectly on plants. Therefore, we carry out the nutrition, modes of nutrition, that is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Already sir has been taught, you have clearly understood. So next, mode of nutrition is over. Then next, photosynthesis. Why photosynthesis? Photosynthesis means we are talking about food. When the food is manufactured, where the food factory is present in the plant, how this food nutrition is produced, where it is stored. To understand better for nutrition, the heading of nutrition, we have to know the synthesis, photosynthesis. That is known as photosynthesis. Why it is called photosynthesis? We will understand better if I explain. So, in order to understand photosynthesis, before that I want to discuss. We have to know where the food factory of plant is located. Food factory is located in the plant. Is it located in throughout the plants? It is located in branch, it is located in root, it is located in stem. You have the answer. But food factory is located in the leaf. That is in green plants, especially. There are certain plants which is having different color, yet they have the green pigment. We'll discuss later. But yes, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis means photo. Photo means it is talking about light. Photo, the meaning of photo is light. Synthesis is it prepared. Synthesis means preparing food. Where it is preparing food? In the leaf. So, what are the materials for photosynthesis? To carry out the process of photosynthesis, it requires raw materials which is present in the surrounding. Plant required some raw materials to carry out this photosynthesis. So what are the materials for photosynthesis? So material for photosynthesis, it requires water which is present in the soil, and also carbon dioxide which is present in the air, that is gases. Mixture of gases is present in the air, but carbon dioxide also it is present in the air. Some percent of carbon dioxide also present in the air. That is observed by this leaf. So photosynthesis is possible to carry out only in plants. This is a unique process. The plants which observe the solar energy and it is converted, it is used for the process of photosynthesis. Therefore, photo means light. So in this process, materials for photosynthesis, what are the materials? What are the raw materials which is required to carry out this photosynthesis? So you have in book, if you see in textbook, you have equation regarding this photosynthesis. You have equation. In that equation, first is raw materials, that is product. We can say what are the product required to carry out this process. The product is one is water, another is carbon dioxide. Sorry. In water which is present in the soil, that is observed by root. After observing by root, this water and also as well as minerals, that is known as other nutrients that is also present in water, dissolved in water, which is dissolved in water, that is observed by along with water. How it is reaching towards this leaf? We are already, I have told that food factory is present in leaf. The minerals and water which is present in the soil, that must reach towards the leaf. So what is there? What is the forces that is there inside the plant so that it will lift the water to reach out in the plant, in the leaf? So here some certain basals are present inside the root. That is known as, you will study in higher classes as well as in next chapter, you will study xylem and phylum is present. The xylem and phylum, which are the vessels which are present in the root, inside the root, which will lift the water or whatever minerals is present in the wall along with which is dissolved in water, that is carried through these tubes and it is reaching towards the leaf. There are certain forces we will discuss later chapter. Got it? So here materials for photosynthesis. I told materials for photosynthesis, that is water. I can write H2O. Otherwise I can write water plus carbon dioxide. Water plus carbon dioxide. Water which is present in the soil, that is observed by some certain tubes, that is xylem phylum, and also carbon dioxide that is observed from the surrounding, which is present in the air, that is gases. carbon dioxide. These two are essential to carry out this process. But water and carbon dioxide, after observing, it requires something, some energy to synthesize, or some energy to carry out this function. So it requires, in the presence of sunlight only, this process is carried out. So it requires sunlight. In sunlight, this energy is required. Why this energy is required? Because this water and carbon dioxide, they're composed, or they will merge, or they will mix together to form oxygen and carbohydrate. That is glucose, we can say. Glucose is formed. What is glucose? Also we can say carbohydrate. That is also we can say this water plus carbon dioxide in presence of sunlight. In presence of sunlight, and also important, in presence of the leaf must be having green pigment called chlorophyll. In every green plants you will find green pigment, that is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is present on the surface of the leaf. Inside if you see the structure of leaf, it is present inside a chloroplast. That is organelle. That is chloroplast. In chloroplast, this chlorophyll is present. That is in green pigment. Therefore, these leaves are appear in green color, especially, most probably. So, water and carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight, and also chlorophyll is present. You can see in textbook that chlorophyll, this equation you will understand. But I am just having some explanation regarding this process I am writing here. It will not be visible right now for you. Okay. So here water plus carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight and in the presence of chlorophyll, which is present in the leaf, that will produce a byproduct. This is product and it is byproduct. The byproduct is glucose, we can say. That is glucose plus oxygen. Glucose, which is utilized by the plant, that is food. It is glucose, also we can say carbohydrate. That is the carbohydrate, this glucose or carbohydrate, it is stored in the form of starch. It is stored where it is stored? In the leaf. When the plants require some food, this carbohydrate is provided across the plant. So here oxygen. What about oxygen? It is stored inside the plant? No. This oxygen is liberated outside. Here taking carbon dioxide, this is the gaseous form. Oxygen is also gaseous form, which is living. But there is a facet in the leaf surface. If you see, there is a guard cell, we can say, guard cell. This guard cell, also known as stomata. There are two guard cells, which is called stomata. Through the stomata, carbon dioxide is observed from the surrounding. There is tiny pores called stomata in the surface of the leaf. If you observe in microscope, you find tiny pores. That is stomata. Through the stomata, carbon dioxide is observed, and also oxygen is liberated through the stomata. It will function as a closing and opening the door. So it is called guard cell. So this is the process. So here main requirements to carry out this photosynthesis, that is raw material, that is known as water, carbon dioxide. And very important, it is in the presence of sunlight, and also present a green pigment called chlorophyll. After carrying out this process, it requires sunlight and chlorophyll. In the presence of sunlight, it will compose this carbohydrate water together to form glucose and oxygen. But what about glucose? This carbohydrate, we can, if you know about carbohydrate, what is the composition of this carbohydrate? Carbohydrate is composition of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. That is known as glucose. Got it? So here oxygen is liberated outside, so we require oxygen for living, survival. But plants require carbon dioxide for their survival. So these are the photosynthesis process. Already Sarah has been explained this very clearly. So next we will study our other mode of nutrition in plants. What are the other modes of nutrition in plants? Why this other mode of nutrition in this topic came? Because other modes of nutrition in plants, in this modes of nutrition, there is no presence of chlorophyll. This green pigment is not present. So I can say these plants, they cannot prepare their own food. So they are called heterotropic plants or heterotrophs plants. You can say heterotropic modes of nutrition they carry out. These other modes of nutrition, that is known as first point, saprotrophic nutrition, that don't have chlorophyll or green pigment, so to prepare food. In these plants also, they will not carry out this photosynthesis process. They will depend on other for nutrition. We study. So, and also that is second point, parasitic nutrition and also symbiosis nutrition. So these are already Sir has explained clearly. So what is saprotrophic nutrition? Saprotrophic nutrition means, for example, you have seen in rainy season, most probably you will see like you have seen in rotten woods, it is in like fetches of like thread like fetches, it is like umbrella shape, you will see that is known as mushroom. You have seen many times during rainy season it appears. So these are called mushrooms are known as green stem plant. They are known as green stem plants. They will be a different color, but they are called tiny plants. These mushrooms are known as tiny plants. So if you find there, saprotrophic nutrition means what happens? How they check the nutrition, but they will feed on decay and dead living organism. The nutrition they observe from dead and decay living organism. The nutrition which is required by this saprotrophic nutrition, this fungi, especially example fungi. They are feed what happens? This fungi you will find in most probably these fungi are fed on dead and decay parts of the animals or plants. So what happens? They will release, this fungi will release some secrete some juice that is dissolved in the any other surface of the object. It will dissolve and it will form a solution. This solution is taken as a nutrition by the plant. Okay, we can say fungi. Fungi is a heterotropic modes of nutrition. This all are we are talking about without the presence of chlorophyll. This saprotrophic nutrition, that is called fungi. Fungi is the best example we can say. So next, parasitic nutrition. What is the difference between saprotrophic, parasitic and symbiotic? Saprotrophic nutrition means it depends on dead and decay. The nutrition which is observed from the dead and decay plants. That is, for example, fungi. And this parasitic means they will depend completely on other plants for nutrition. Cuscuta is example. This is total parasite. Cuscuta is total, but TP means total parasite, and is a mistletoe, that is partial parasite. This Cuscuta plants, if you have seen in many of the in your day-to-day life, you have seen Cuscuta plants. They will climber. They will just surround like thread like structure which is found on the plant or any other tree. That is, you will find in many places. That is, this Cuscuta plants, what it will do? It will observe completely. It will depend on completely on the other plant organism. We can say other organisms for food. That is, therefore, they are known as parasitic. The organisms which depends on other for food, they are known as parasitic. And the organisms which provide or from which they obtain the nutrition, that organism is known as host. So they are depend completely on other organisms for food and shelter. So next we will study symbiosis. Symbiosis nutrition means, if you compare to other two nutrition, so symbiosis means they will share their nutrition, share their food. Like we can say here, lichen. Lichen is an organism, distinct organism which is composed of algae and fungus. This algae contains chlorophyll. This fungus doesn't. So algae contains chlorophyll, so it will prepare its own food, and fungus will feed by this algae. So they are sharing each other for their living, for their survival. They are sharing. So this kind of sharing nature of this plant, Therefore, they are called as symbiosis nutrition. So already sir has been explained this other modes of nutrition in plants. So last topic, this is left, special mode of nutrition. So in special mode of nutrition, here what kind of special mode of nutrition in these plants? Why this special mode of nutrition is kept in this chapter? Because nitrogen also is a gas which is required by the plants, but they will not often by this other like photosynthesis process or by other any plants. No, they will directly. So indirectly they are what special mode of nutrition. This special mode of nutrition like insectivorous plants. This insectivorous plant they require nitrogen, but in carbohydrate it is present only carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. But there is this special plants they require nitrogen. Nitrogen, or certain plants are there, they will fix nitrogen. They will fix nitrogen. So nitrogen is present especially in the air, in the gaseous form, but they cannot use directly this nitrogen gas form which is present in the air. They cannot use. That must be converted into usual nitrogen. So you will study in 8th class regarding this. So here insectivorous they require nitrogen. How they will? So certain plants are there, they directly trap the insect or some animals and they digest them. So there are certain plants, you cannot imagine such kind of plants also created by God. So here insectivorous plants mean they will feed on insect. So one example is given in textbook, picture plant. A diagram also is given. So picture plant, you will see the plant, this is leaf, especially the picture plant, this picture is a leaf modified structure. So this in the plant the leaf is modified into picture. So it is modified like this. For understanding purpose, I am drawing similar to picture plant. Got it? So here what happened? In picture plant, this leaf is modified into feature-like structure, which is having a lead on the apex of the plant. This part is called apex. So this is lead. This is modified leaf feature structure. So this is known as modified leaf. Modified leaf, that is in picture structure. So in this what happen, when the insect come near this plant leaf, what happen? They will when the insect enter into this feature, inside the feature, this lid will close. This lid is utilized for closing and opening. Whenever the insect enters, come near to this apex part of this leaf, so what happen? This insect gets stuck. Why it is stuck here inside? So inside the surface, in the inner surface of the feature, there are small tiny hairs are present, which is directed downwards. So what happens when the insects set or come near to this feature plant to see why many of the insects like only they will come to, they will fly here and there to observe some requirement. They require some juice of this plant. So some insect they will come and say after sitting there, what happens? They will get stuck. They will entangle. It's what is their entangle? That is entangle means that is they will twist it or they will sit there and they will get caught by this hair, which is directed downwards. So why it is directed downwards? So that this picture plant will help the insect to move downwards. So after moving downwards, after reaching in certain part of this picture plant, what happens? This plant will release some toxic agent, so toxic juice. That is, this toxic juice it utilized to digest the insect, or the insect will get digested by this juice. So in that case, these plants will help to observe or to gain this nitrogenous gas, nitrogen, which is useful for the plant to grow. This is a part of nutrition. Nitrogen also part of nutrition. Also required, carbon dioxide is also required. Carbon dioxide also required. Minerals also required. Water also required for this plants to grow. but most probably they will grow in that area where there is lacking of some minerals. So this type of plant, they require nitrogen for their survival. So what happened? There are certain plants similar to feature plant. There are Etoculuna and Venus flytrap and Drosera. These are the example of insectivorous plants. They are fed by some animals or some insect. So chapter has been completed. Any doubt, you can comment in the comment box. Okay. So we'll discuss later exercise. Okay, based on this topic. So I will give assignment on next video regarding this chapter. So this is the first chapter. Already sir has taught completely. So I hope you understood better. If you are any doubt, anything, please comment on the box. Okay, thank you.